family gatherings is a sweet story in which he describes how he and I used to ride around in his work truck together and sing oldies that came on the radio. A couple of my favorite songs to sing with my dad till this day are Stand By Me by Ben E. King and Lollipop by the Chordettes. Little did I know that this would blossom into a full-blown passion of mine, which is music. When I was in first grade, my family moved from California to Tempe, Arizona, and in 4th and 5th grade, all students are encouraged to pick up an instrument and join the choir. I, of course, joined the choir and chose to pick up playing the violin. I don't know if you've all had the unfortunate experience of listening to a beginner violinist, but it is certainly not the most pleasant sound in the world. Kind of like nails on a chalkboard combined with cats hissing. Twinkle Twinkle Little Star transforms from a lullaby more into an excerpt from a horror film. No, my parents put up with this, so bless them for that. In 7th grade, my family moved back to Ventura, California. With its beachy, cool, sports-minded mentality, kids here did not think being in band, orchestra, or choir was very cool. I, of course, wanted to be a cool kid, so I can remember begging and pleading with my mom to please let me quit playing the violin. I was so embarrassed to walk to the music room every day lugging around my violin. My mom listened, and she shook her head no, and she reassured me that playing violin was good for me at the time, which I didn't understand, but she was correct. I was fortunate enough to audition for and make the Ventura Master Chorale Children's Concert Choir. This choir was awesome, and I loved every single minute of being a member of this choir. A couple of times a year, we had the opportunity to sing in Ventura City Hall, which was a wonderful venue because it was lined from the floor to the ceiling with marble. Awesome. So what's the point in me telling you about all of this? Because my parents made me stick with music and believed in me, I was able to have some amazing once-in-a-lifetime opportunities because of music. With the Ventura High School String Orchestra, we got to travel to Hawaii, New York, Germany, and Austria. With the Children's Concert Choir, we got to travel to England and to Italy. When we traveled to Hawaii, we got to lay out on the beaches of Waikiki. When we traveled to New York, we got to visit Eastman School of Music, Niagara Falls, at which time it was snowing, so that was beautiful, and visit Times Square. When we visited Germany and Austria, we got to eat delicious chocolates, of course, visit beautiful castles that were straight from a Disney movie, and ride around the countryside in a giant tour bus, and the hills really were alive with the sound of music. It was breathtaking. When I traveled to England, my father went and he was one of the chaperones, and at this time my younger brother was also a member of the choir. One of my favorite memories from this trip was when the three of us took the underground to where the main drag of musical theaters were located. We didn't have any tickets to see a particular musical, but my dad, being the crafty man that he is, located a scalper and started wheeling and dealing the way that my dad does. Before we knew it, we had 3 tickets in the 4th row to see My Fair Lady in England. A wonderful memory, truly. We also had the opportunity to sing in Westminster Abbey as well as Canterbury Cathedral. All of these trips mean so much to me to this day, but the one that stands out among the rest was traveling to Italy. My dad was also a chaperone on this trip, and my mama and papa, grandma and grandpa, went as well. My mama was full-blooded Italian. Her parents came over here from Naples to give their family a better opportunity. However, my grandmother had never been back to Italy, so this really meant the world to her to come to Italy with her granddaughter as well as her son. We sang in beautiful cities and cathedrals, but the one cathedral that stands out among the rest is singing in St. Peter's Basilica during Mass. Wow. You can imagine how touched and moved this made my grandmother and my father. This is a memory I will hold close to me forever because my grandmother passed away last summer, so I will always cherish this memory with her. Marcine Jardine was the director for the Children's Concert Choir, and she ended up becoming a huge mentor of mine. She helped me prepare for my audition to get into the music department at California State University, Northridge. She helped me prepare 2 Italian art songs, Pur dicesti o bocca bocca bella, and Vergine tutto amor. I can remember walking into the room on my audition day feeling much like I do right now, trembling and with fear, all of the voice faculty sitting in front of me. I handed my music to the accompanist, took a deep breath, and started to sing, and somehow managed to make it through without falling over, like I'm doing right now. After the audition, I then had an interview with the head of the Music Industry Studies program about why I wanted to be a Music Industry Studies major, as all applicants do. Made it through that, At that point, I also handed in my essay, for which we had been emailed the prompt 3 days prior to the interview, which is intentional on their part because they want to see how well you function under pressure and the kind of work that you can put out. I made it into the music industry studies program at CSUN, and I loved every single minute of it. I met some amazingly talented people and created lifelong friendships. So what's the point in all of this? Thanks, Mom and Dad, for making me stick to music and believing in me. Because of that, I have some amazing experiences I can cherish for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Awesome.